Hey, Celtics Nation! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. Man, NBA fans are absolutely losing their minds right now because the unthinkable just happened. Anthony Edwards, the young superstar from Minnesota, the guy everyone thought would build his legacy with the Timberwolves, has reportedly signed a 4-year deal with the Boston Celtics. You heard that right. Anthony freaking Edwards in Boston Green. It sounds like something straight out of a 2K fantasy rebuild, but insiders are saying it's real. Boston, already loaded with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, just added one of the league's most explosive guards. The city's going wild, Twitter's on fire, and nobody could believe how fast this all unfolded. It's like the Celtics front office just pressed a turbo button on their championship dreams, and fans everywhere are trying to figure out what this means for the balance of power in the East. Minnesota fans are heartbroken, Boston fans are euphoric, and the rest of the league is straight up terrified. Because if this move is confirmed, we might be looking at the start of a dynasty that could dominate the next half-decade. Yeah, it's that serious. Anthony Edwards is officially part of the Boston Celtics family. Let's take a second to breathe, because this deal feels like one of those moments where the NBA just shifts on its axis. Think about it. Edwards, still only 24, has been one of the fastest rising stars in the league, a walking highlight reel with charisma, confidence, and a scoring punch that rivals anyone in the game. Now, imagine him alongside Tatum and Brown. That's not just a big three. That's a nightmare for defenses. Boston's always prided itself on smart, hard-nosed basketball, but with Edwards in the mix, they just got a jolt of pure electricity. He brings swagger, intensity, and that fearless attitude that fits perfectly with the Celtics' championship DNA. Fans are already flooding comment sections, imagining fast breaks with Tatum dishing to Edwards for a tomahawk jam. It's chaos online. Nobody saw this coming. Not after all the talk about Minnesota locking him in long term. But apparently, something changed, something big enough to send shockwaves through the entire basketball world. Rumors are swirling about how this deal even came together. Some insiders claim Edwards had been feeling frustrated with Minnesota's direction. Others suggest Boston's front office had been quietly plotting this move for months, waiting for the perfect window. There's talk of complex trade pieces, salary cap gymnastics, and backroom conversations that nobody in the media caught wind of. The craziest part? Everyone's saying Jason Tatum played a major role in convincing Edwards to make the leap. Apparently, the two stars bonded during off-season workouts and Team USA sessions, and Tatum pitched the vision of building something historic together in Boston. If that's true, then Tatum just pulled off one of the most legendary recruiting jobs in NBA history. Celtics fans are calling him GMJT now, and honestly, it fits. This isn't just a signing, it's a statement. Boston isn't waiting for tomorrow. They're going for it now. Now here's where it gets wild, because the implications of this move are enormous. The Eastern Conference just became a war zone. You've got Giannis and Dame in Milwaukee, Embiid and Maxey in Philly, Jimmy and Bam in Miami, but now Boston rolls out a trio that could run the table. Imagine the spacing, the pace, the firepower. Edwards brings that slashing aggression. Tatum's got that smooth, all-around game, and Brown's athleticism ties it all together. Defensively, they can switch on anything. Offensively, they can light up any scoreboard. It's like Brad Stevens just looked at the roster and said, "Let's build Thanos." The memes are already flooding in. Fans comparing the Celtics to the Avengers assembling for one last mission. It's entertaining, it's chaotic, and it's exactly what makes the NBA so addictive. Every offseason, someone changes the narrative, and this might be the biggest twist in years. But what's next for the Timberwolves? That's the million-dollar question. Losing Edwards means losing your identity. He was the heart and soul of that team, the guy who brought energy to every possession. Reports say Minnesota tried to keep him, even offering a monster extension, but it wasn't enough. Maybe it was about culture, maybe about market size, or maybe Edwards just wanted that spotlight that only Boston can give. The Timberwolves now face a complete rebuild, and fans are devastated. Karl-Anthony Towns can't carry this franchise alone, and without Edwards, it's hard to see what direction they go next. Minnesota's front office has some explaining to do because this will sting for years. It's like watching your future walk out the door and straight into a championship contender's locker room. Brutal, but that's business in the NBA. Social media is absolutely melting down over this. You've got Celtics fans popping champagne, Timberwolves fans making sad highlight montages, and rival fan bases desperately hoping this is some kind of fake rumor. But as more insiders confirm the story, the reality's sinking in. Boston just pulled off the heist of the decade. Everyone's speculating about the contract details, but early reports suggest it's a 4-year deal worth around $180 million. Massive money, but totally deserved for a player of Edwards' caliber. The city of Boston is buzzing, sports bars are packed, and jerseys are already being printed. It feels like a new chapter in NBA history just started tonight. And if you thought last season's Celtics were scary, wait until you see what happens when Anthony Edwards steps onto that parquet floor at TD Garden. Pure chaos, pure excitement, pure basketball history in the making. Now, let's dive into what this really means for the Celtics franchise. We're not just talking about adding a star. We're talking about creating a culture shift. Edwards brings a level of swagger that Boston hasn't had since the days of Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. He's got that fire, that competitive edge, that I'm-him energy that lights up a locker room. The Celtics have always been about tradition, discipline, and defense. But with Edwards, they get personality, entertainment, and explosiveness. It's a perfect storm for the modern NBA, where charisma matters almost as much as skill. Imagine Edwards walking into the Garden, hyping up the crowd before tip-off, dropping 35, and smiling the whole way through. That's not just basketball. That's showtime in Boston. Fans are calling it the birth of a new era, the electric Celtics. The kind of team that doesn't just win, they dominate and make it look fun. This signing might also redefine how players view Boston as a destination. For years, the Celtics have been respected, but not always seen as the go-to spot for young superstars. Edwards changes that narrative instantly. He's cool, he's charismatic, and now he's the face of a franchise that's already elite. Young players around the league will be watching closely, realizing that Boston isn't just a historical team. It's a brand that's alive again. This could open doors for future trades, free agents, and endorsements. You can already picture the commercials. Tatum and Edwards walking through downtown Boston in their green suits, talking legacy. It's cinematic, it's marketable, and it puts the Celtics right back at the center of basketball culture. That's power. That's star gravity. And now, Boston has it in spades. On the court, though, there will be challenges. The chemistry between Tatum, Brown, and Edwards will be under the microscope from day one. Everyone remembers how hard it is to balance multiple stars. Just ask the Brooklyn Nets. But if they can find the right rhythm, it could be unstoppable. Edwards brings a drive-first mentality, but he's also a willing passer when the offense clicks. The Celtics coaching staff will need to design sets that maximize his explosiveness without sacrificing ball movement. Defensively, Edwards' athleticism adds another layer of versatility. He can guard 1-3 and turn defense into instant offense. If he buys into the Celtics system, they'll have a weapon that no other team in the East can match. The hype is real, but the work starts now. Greatness doesn't just happen, it's built one game at a time. And don't sleep on the impact this will have off the court. Edwards is box office. His energy, interviews, and humor are tailor-made for the YouTube and TikTok generation. Boston's media presence just got supercharged. You'll see his highlights everywhere. SportsCenter, House of Highlights, Bleacher Report, nonstop. He's got that crossover appeal, the kind that brings new fans into the game. Kids in playground will start wearing Celtics jerseys again, shouting Ant-Man after dunks. For a franchise that's all about history, this brings something fresh, something youthful and vibrant. It's like Boston just went from classic rock to pure hip-hop energy overnight. And that's the beauty of sports. How one player can completely redefine a team's identity in a single move. The Edwards effect is already spreading. Meanwhile, Around the league, executives are scrambling. Every contender just had their strategy flipped upside down. Teams like the Bucks, Sixers, and Heat now have to rethink everything. The Celtics were already elite, and now they've just added another All-NBA level player entering his prime. Rival GMs are calling emergency meetings. Coaches are updating their playbooks. You can feel the tension. The NBA thrives on storylines, and this one's a blockbuster. Edwards to Boston isn't just a transaction, it's an earthquake. And as the dust settles, the question remains, who's going to stop them? Because on paper, the answer might be no one. The Celtics just became the team to beat, and they know it. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. So here we are, witnessing history unfold. Anthony Edwards, the kid from Atlanta who lit up Minnesota, is now wearing Celtics green for the next 4 years. The fans are chanting, the analysts are debating, and the league's shaking. It feels like the start of something huge, something legendary. Maybe it ends with banners. Maybe it sparks rivalries we'll talk about for decades. One thing's certain, the NBA just got a lot more interesting. The lights are brighter, the stakes are higher, and Boston's back on top of the conversation. Edwards didn't just sign a contract, he changed the game. And for basketball fans everywhere, this is the kind of chaos we live for. Boston just lit the fuse. Now let's see how far this explosion goes. Finally, the overarching buzz around Maxime Reynaud continues to grow, with whispers suggesting that the Celtics could be on the cusp of a significant move, one that might go unnoticed by casual observers, yet quietly shift the balance of power in the Eastern Conference. Rumors hint at ongoing negotiations, strategic planning sessions, and carefully orchestrated scouting evaluations, all aimed at ensuring that Boston maximizes the potential value of adding him to their roster. Analysts and insiders continue to speculate about how his skill set, temperament, and versatility could intersect with the team's current stars to produce unexpected synergies, potentially reshaping rotations, playmaking strategies, and even defensive schemes. Fan forums and social media threads buzz with constant debate, analyzing every shred of information, every cryptic post, and every rumored conversation about his potential arrival. The narrative being quietly built suggests that if the Celtics secure Reynaud, it could be a calculated, high-upside move that strengthens the roster without creating immediate fanfare, the kind of subtle yet strategic acquisition that might only reveal its full impact during playoff stretches. As whispers persist, the anticipation grows, leaving fans and insiders alike imagining a Boston Celtics team quietly transformed by the addition of a player who embodies adaptability, intelligence, and the potential to quietly redefine a contender's edge. Ultimately, the Donovan Mitchell to Boston saga reflects a convergence of talent, ambition, strategy, and culture, highlighting the intricate interplay between player aspirations, organizational planning, and fan engagement in the modern NBA. Every rumor, leak, and insider report adds layers to the narrative, creating a multi-dimensional story that resonates beyond the hardwood, shaping perceptions of both the Celtics and Cavaliers while fueling endless speculation about future developments. Analysts are projecting potential playoff outcomes, imagining high-pressure scenarios, and debating the strategic implications of Mitchell joining a team with Tatum and Brown, while fans contribute their own theories, lineups, and highlight reels to the ongoing discussion. The Celtics front office is reportedly preparing meticulously for a smooth integration, aware that the success of this addition depends not only on scoring, defense, and efficiency, but also on chemistry, leadership balance, and adaptability. Meanwhile, Cleveland faces the challenge of leveraging the situation to secure assets that could rebuild the team while maintaining competitive credibility. Across social media, sports media, and casual conversations alike, this rumor has taken on a life of its own, demonstrating how superstar movement, narrative construction, and emotional investment intersect to create stories that define entire eras. The anticipation, speculation, and potential impact of Donovan Mitchell joining the Celtics position this saga as one of the most compelling narratives in recent NBA history, combining drama, strategy, and excitement in a way that will be remembered long after the trade itself is finalized. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.